Hey there and welcome to Matt's Garage. Well, today we're going to be doing a pretty common repair on the PT Cruiser, and that is replacing the oil pressure sensor. This car actually came with a new one because the one that's in it keeps faulting out and sending a false oil light, and basically what happens is they leak oil internally into the electrical portion of the sensor and short out the sensor, and often you'll see oil running down off of it, out of the wiring plug and everything. And sometimes if you just clean out the plug and stuff with brake clean, you can get them to work again for a while, but ultimately they need to be replaced when they get like that. It's not a very complicated job. You can see they come with thread sealant on them and everything. You'll need a 27mm socket, or 1 1/16. That's actually what this is, but it's equivalent to 27mm. They actually make special sockets for sensors that have like a rubber inside them so they don't damage it, but if you're careful, you can use a regular socket. You can see that fits in there nicely. And I've changed them on the non-turbo PTs from the top, just removing the air box and reaching down in here. And it looks like you could probably reach it that way if you got long arms, even on the turbo. The turbo's not really in the way. If you took this turbo pipe off here, you could get your arm down there. But it does look like there's better access from the bogging, so that's going to be my choice. We'll be working underneath, and I'll get some lights and my camera set up under there and meet you there. Okay guys, you see that aluminum sort of tube there, that heat sleeve with the wire running into it? That is your sensor in there. You got to get that heat sleeve pulled back off the plug, the electrical plug. Undo the electrical plug, and then that'll allow you to remove the heat sleeve right out of there. And then you can get your socket on the sensor and unthread the sensor. So I'm going to try and show you as much as I can here, but it's very difficult to get the camera up in here at the same time as my arms. Okay guys, you should be able to see a little bit of me and most of the sensor. So I don't know if this wire is clipped somewhere here. I'm just going to trace it up and see. Okay, so not too bad, just like that. You can see it is quite oily around here. Maybe you can't see that, but it is. Okay, I've got that shield slid back, and there's no tab or anything. It's just a squeeze tab. Like, there's no red security tab that you have to pull back. You just depress the tab and pull back on the plug. Easier said than done. I'm trying here. There we go. Oh, okay, it does have a tab. I couldn't see the tab from where I was, but it looks like somebody's had it off before the tab was all pulled out. Yeah, somebody's definitely had that off because that tab's broke. So we'll just put that plug off to the side. Just make sure you clean around the base of the sensor. You don't want to be putting any grit into your engine. And now we just got to get our socket up on this sensor. And then I do have a short extension on here. It's actually a 3" and an adapter, so it makes it like a 4". And that's just about right. I can just get my socket in there. Okay, and then you want to hold that on there really squarely, so get up there with both hands if you can, and just support the ratchet. Okay, and it's not too tight at all. It's breaking loose right away. There's actually a generous amount of room to move in here once you get up in here. Okay, and I can probably thread that out by hand from here. There we go. Okay, now as you're putting the new sensor in, really try to get a visual. It's hard, but get a visual on where the hole is so that you're not you know, getting the sensor off the hole and getting a bunch of dirt into the hole. You want to try and get that dead on the first try there. So it's best to have clean fingers, and then you can sort of use your fingertip to feel where that is. Just make sure you don't cross thread it. It's pipe thread, so it'll start a little loose and get tighter as it threads in. Okay, so we got that threaded in a couple turns. It's up to the thread tape, and now we'll get it snugged up. I'm actually going to get a bit smaller ratchet to make sure I don't over tighten it. Okay guys, here's where you really got to be careful. When you're tightening it up, you don't want to get your socket on there crooked, especially if you're not using a sensor socket. You want to get dead on there so that you're not torquing against the plastic. And that's part of why I got a smaller ratchet. It just gives me a bit more control. Now you don't need to tighten these up terribly tight, but as I said, they're a taper, so they keep getting tighter in the threads as they go in. I want to make sure I'm holding that ratchet steady so that it's not going crooked on there. And that's probably sufficient right there. So now normally I would put dielectric grease on a connection like this under the car, but this one's already got some oil in it, so I'm going to call that good. I'm sure it's not going to corrode. And we'll try and get this safety clip done up here though. Now if your plug's really oily and greased up, take some brake clean and wash it out. This one didn't seem too bad, so I think it'll be just fine. Just make sure that's on there good. That little orange tab is kind of broken on mine, but I shoved what was left of it in there. And you shove that heat shield down over there, and you're pretty much done. It's kind of funny, guys. I found a flashlight here. Looks like the last guy forgot his light. Check that out, guys. Atomic beam. I found that fancy flashlight jammed up in there when I was changing that sensor. It was up in behind the engine there. Who knows how long that's been in there. So one last thing you want to do is just start your engine, and of course make sure your oil light goes out right away. Then jump under there and check for any leaks around the new sensor. Okay, we're inside the car here. We're just going to start it up, and we want to make sure that light goes out right away. Yeah, the light went out really quick. That's a good sign. So now we'll just jump under the car. I already set up some lights so we can see, and we'll see what's going on under there. Make sure there's no leaks. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks a lot for watching Matt's Garage. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful PT repair videos, and have yourself a great day.